Good evening and welcome. This is the India Today newsroom. I'm Rahul Kanwal. Mamata Banerjee accuses the Prime Minister of subverting democracy. But is the West Bengal Chief Minister guilty of intimidating her political rivals? That's our top focus on the newsroom tonight.
Violence, murders, threats. TMC unleashes reign of terror. Panchayat poll winners in hiding. Forced to flee, hunted and hounded. No mercy for political rivals. Fear and loathing in Didi's Bengal.
The Trinamool Congress largely swept the recently concluded Panchayat elections in West Bengal. But there were charges of the elections being fixed by the Trinamool by intimidating the BJP and the left. Very few candidates won on a BJP or a left ticket. What we found, at least in one district of West Bengal, reported also from other districts, are members of the BJP and the left complaining that they are being intimidated by Trinamool leaders on the ground to either leave their party and jump across and join the Trinamool or face the consequences. Manogya Loiwal, our Kolkata bureau chief, travelled to the 24 South Parganas district of West Bengal. She files this ground report.
Unprecedented ruthless violence preceded the Panchayat polls in West Bengal. Clashes, street fights and political violence has continued even after the results were declared. The month of May has witnessed murders, killings, threats and vandalism mostly by the Trinamool Congress. Now, fearing persecution by the TMC, hundreds of BJP and CPM workers have been forced to flee their villages and take shelter in party offices. "62-year-old Pushpita Baroi breaks down every time she thinks of her home in South 24 Parganas, the home that was set ablaze with her family, allegedly by TMC goons.
এখন প্রচুর কষ্টে যাচ্ছে ঘরে আগুন ধরিয়েছে সেই রাতারাতি ওরা বাড়ি পেয়ে আসতো না আমার কাছে আসতো না আমি এবারে রাতারাতি লিয়া এবারে একটা ছিঁড়া কাপড় ওই ছেলে মেয়ের জামা কাপড় আর কিছু নাই ওদেরকে লিয়া পালিয়ে আইসা অন্য জায়গায় ছিলি তারে আমাকে সিপেন বাড়ি রে যাও একটু আশ্রয় দিতেন এইখানে আছি মাথা মেরে আছি কোনো অসুবিধা নেই এখন তার এখন কথাই থাকবো কথাই পড়বো আমরা সে কথা বলতে পারবো না।
Along with her son and daughter-in-law, Pushpita, a CPM supporter, now lives in the local party office. A life that they now compare to a life in custody.
তো স্বামীকে বার করিসনি তোরা বেরোসনি তো তোদের বাড়ি জ্বালিয়ে দেবো তোদের জ্যান্ত পুড়িয়ে মারবো যা বলেছে। রাত 9টার দিকে আমি বাচ্চা কাচ্চা নিয়ে শুয়ে পড়েছি রাত 9টার দিকে বাড়ি জ্বালিয়ে দিয়েছে যা জ্বালিয়ে দিয়েছে আর আমি বেরোতে পারিনি আর পিছনের একটা দরজা ছিল সামনের দরজা দিয়ে বেরোলেও মারবে ওরা পিছনের দরজা দিয়ে কোনো রকম দুটো বাচ্চা নিয়ে পালিয়ে এসেছি আমি।
Many left-affiliated winners in the Panchayat polls have pledged support to the BJP and are staying in their party offices too.
টিএমসিরা হচ্ছে আমাদের 41টা ঘর জ্বালিয়ে দিয়েছে আর ওদের হতে আমরা 3 বছর ঘর ছাড়া হয়েছিলাম তাই আমরা ওদের সঙ্গে যোগাযোগ করতে চাই না আমরা এই বিজেপি পার্টির সঙ্গে মানে প্রধান গঠন করতে চাই।
In volatile South 24 Parganas, the BJP won majority in 15 gram panchayats. But the winning candidates like Somarani Koel are either forced to stay away from their home or face threats from ruling party leaders and workers.
ওই টিএমসিরা ভয় দেখাচ্ছে তুলে নিয়ে যাব নিয়ে গিয়ে মানে সার্টিফিকেট কেড়ে নিয়ে নেব নিলে আমরা অঞ্চল গঠন করব আমাদের জীবন চলে যাবো তো অঞ্চল আমরা গঠন করব সেই ভয় থেকে আমরা পালিয়ে এখানে এসেছি এইভাবে আছি আমরা একটাই মেয়ে বাড়ি আছে সেইটাই আমার দুঃখ যে মেয়েটা এখানে নেই।
The story is no different in other parts of the state, including North Bengal. In several villages in Malda district of West Bengal, BJP winners have still not returned home and are living in shelters or camps just to stay alive.
টিএমসির ভয়ে খুব আমরা অত্যাচার আমাদের বাড়ির ওখানে, তখন আমরা ভয়ে এইখানে এসে থাকছি, যে পাচ্ছি সে খাচ্ছি, না খেয়েও থাকছি, তো ভয়ে বাড়িও যেতে পারছি না। তাহলে আমাদের জেলা পরিষদ মানিচকের ওকে মেরে ধরে সার্টিফিকেট ছিনে নিয়েছে, আমরা ভয়ে এদিক ওদিক দৌড়াচ্ছি।
The rival parties have been knocking at the door of the local administration, but to no avail. So far, no action has been taken against the ruling party members.
হাজার হাজার ছেলে মেয়ের বিরুদ্ধে আমাদের রাজ্যে যে ইয়াং জেনারেশন যারা এখনো বামপন্থার পক্ষে নেমেছে এই পঞ্চায়েত নির্বাচনে, তাদেরকে মিথ্যা মামলায় জড়ানো হয়েছে, অযথা তাদেরকে হয়রানি করা হচ্ছে, তাদেরকে পুলিশ দিয়ে খোঁজা হচ্ছে এবং অনেকেই গুন্ডা বদমাইশ তৃণমূলের মস্তান দ্বারা বাড়ি ছাড়া, কয়েক হাজার কয়েকশো ছেলে মেয়ে বাড়ি ছাড়া এই নির্বাচনে এই পঞ্চায়েত নির্বাচনের পরে। তো কারা টার্গেট বোঝা যাচ্ছে না।
जबरदस्ती चुनाव जीता तृणमूल कांग्रेस ने। अभी चुनाव जीतने के बाद भी हिंसा लगातार चल रहा है, घर लूट रहा है, उसको जुर्माना कर रहा है लोगों को, भाजपा करने से जुर्माना देना पड़ेगा, वही पर शस्त्र लेके घर में जाके हमला करके तोड़फोड़ करना, घर लूट करना और पुलिस से जबरदस्ती फर्जी केस भी डालना, एक काम अभी भी तृणमूल कांग्रेस कर रहा है।
The TMC, however, blames the BJP for the mess.
वो जो वायलेंस हुआ है, ये वायलेंस का एटमॉस्फेयर हमारा इधर से बीजेपी का जो लीडर है, हमारा जो बीजेपी का प्रेसिडेंट है, उसको भाषण से वो पहले से ऐसे बात किया है, ये हम ये करेगा, मारपीट करेगा, हम त्रिशूल लेके घूमेगा, हम ये करेगा, ये सब लेके उत्तेजना सृष्टि हुआ।
There can nothing be more painful for a mother than shedding tears for her family and son and waiting for a return, for a safe return that seems to be almost a never-ending wait, and the tears that do not stop rolling down the cheeks. The painful experience that these families have gone through is just one of those stories of thousands of people that have been rendered homeless because of the political violence in recent past. And for the ruling front or for the rival parties, the battle continues. With camera person Tapas Berry and bureau inputs, this is Manogya Loiwal in South 24 Parganas for India Today.
That's a shocking ground report by my colleague Manogya Loiwal. Before I start the newsroom showdown tonight, I want to put things in perspective. Remember, in the recently concluded Panchayat elections, the Trinamool swept very handsomely. In fact, dominated the state like very few state governments do. Let's start with the Gram Panchayat results. The Trinamool picked up 66% of the total Gram Panchayat seats in West Bengal. The BJP picked up only 18%, the left picked up 5%, the Congress picked up 3%. Trinamool picking up 21,000 out of 48,000. Let's now come to the Panchayat Samiti results. Here the Trinamool did even better, picking up 80%, 4,900 of the 9,200 seats on offer. The BJP picking up 12, the left picked up 2, the Congress picked up 2. Let's now look at the Zilla Parishad elections of West Bengal. Here the Trinamool, if you'd believe it, did even better than 80%, picking up 93% of the Zilla Parishad seats on offer, picking up 580 of the 825, the BJP 23 out of 845, the Congress 5 out of 825. I want to introduce to you our guests joining us on the newsroom showdown tonight. Babul Supriya, Union Minister, comes from West Bengal, Member of Parliament from Asansol. Garga Chatterjee is a Trinamool supporter. Fahd Halim is a leader of the CPIM. I want to go across to Garga Chatterjee first because, you know, we saw very recently during the Karnataka trust vote, the Trinamool and India's opposition level all manner of allegations against Babul Supriya's party, the BJP. You accuse the Modi government of throttling, scuttling democracy. Now square this, Garga Chatterjee, with your own actions on the ground in West Bengal. You saw in that ground report that Manogya put together, there are very few opposition leaders who won in these Panchayat elections. Many of them have left their houses, are staying in their party offices because they are being told by Trinamool goons on the ground that if they go back home, if they don't join the Trinamool, they will be killed. Is this not gundagardi of the highest order?
When the report started, I was listening very carefully. It used two words, and let me contradict those. It says it's an unprecedented kind of violence. Okay, first of all, it's not unprecedented. In fact, this is as shocking as it might be, it's the least violent polls in the last 20 years. That tells you what used to happen earlier. Also, it also claimed that it was mostly done by the TMC. Now, that's a ridiculous claim, because the majority of the people, the casualty who has actually been killed, belong to the TMC. Now, when you put those two together, you understand that if TMC people are getting killed, who is the violence being unleashed by? I'm extremely sad to see these people of Bengal, who you have documented in this report, are basically pawns of BJP's very nasty game of creating violence in the grassroots. And of course, there is sense, you know, creating great violence for which a majority of the people getting killed are from TMC. Let's actually put this in perspective here.
That's a bizarre charge, because the people we profiled won on a BJP ticket. Some of them won on a left ticket. You saw 62-year-old Pushpita Barui. You heard her story. Babul Supriya, the Trinamool Congress, accusing the BJP of orchestrating a game where not just do they allege that you are killing Trinamool supporters, they also somehow allege that the BJP itself is intimidating these people and forcing them to leave their homes and stay in party offices. Let Babul Supriya respond.
No, that's not what was claimed. No, that's not what I said. What I tried to say. Okay, let him respond.
Babul Supriya, please.
Rahul, I'll only speak if there are no interruptions unnecessarily. First of all, I don't want to, respond to any charges. I don't want to respond to anything that they have to say. Very simply because, with all due respect to Garga, I think that the very fact that Trinamool Congress has nothing to defend is highlighted by the fact that there are no official Trinamool spokesperson that goes to any national TV debates, or be it whatever even in West Bengal, wherever, there are no official spokesperson. What we see are occasional tweets from Derek O'Brien, which absolutely makes bizarre allegations on the opposition. These are not documentaries made by BJP, Congress or CPIM. These are not as being alleged. These are not images shot discriminatorily by BJP on people who are, these are ordinary people from villages, helpless people who needed the police when they needed them. Not only have the Trinamool Congress unleashed the absolute terror reign in all these remotely rural areas, but there has been no elections. Let's not even say that Trinamool Congress won the elections. There were no elections. They were not only killing of people, they were absolute killing of the democracy. And yes, I am going to respond to one word. The only thing that Trinamool Congress is repeatedly saying, that this is not unprecedented, because what data they are bringing forth is that was being left over by the CPIM. I think that if by showing the data from CPIM, Trinamool wants to say that it was the least violent panchayat elections that has ever happened in West Bengal, I would say that given the data that we actually see, or TV channels, media are actually bringing forth truthfully in front of the public domain, I think probably they are going to feel much better if they compare the data with that led by Idi Amin or Chemical Ali, because probably that was something which is going to let Trinamool's violence look really minuscule or small. Atrociously hopeless situation of democracy. To put it bluntly, I think the time has come when we parliamentarians need to actually debate if there should be other measures in which we can curtail or we can handle law and order situations in states like West Bengal, where the government goes completely rogue and takes police with them. And should 356 be the only way that these things can be addressed? There should be other measures in which such law and order cannot just remain a state subject, because it is not about the people who are in politics, but the common people, the common people who constitute this democratic country, the biggest in the world, who are being the biggest sufferers. Everyone is not into politics. But look what happens when there is
Babul, you made your point. You've set up this debate.
In the entire village. Entire village, that's what the reality is.
Garga Chatterjee, I find it a thoroughly absurd argument for the Trinamool Congress to suggest that, oh, this happened in the past as well. I don't buy this argument from any political party. Your response, you promised Paribartan, you said the left runs West Bengal wrong and that you will fix the state and that there was too much violence in the past and that you would do better. You can't now resort to the defense. So, pehle bhi hota tha to say that there's violence this time as well. And you're also wrong when you say that lesser people have been killed, because I pulled up data. In 2008, in the Panchayat elections, 14 people were killed. In 2013, 21 people were killed in the Panchayat elections. And in 2018, 28 people were killed. This according to a report in the widely reputed Telegraph newspaper from West Bengal. So your facts are not correct, and the premise of your argument is completely abhorrent.
Okay, let us not pull up data from Cobra Post tainted kind of groups, okay? Let's look at data which exists in public domain. In one district in Murshidabad in 2008, more than 20 people got killed, okay? One district on polling day in 2008. So let's not get into the numbers question. Let's actually concentrate on the fact that most of the people who got killed were Trinamool people. What does it tell you about the source of violence? Let us actually think in a cool head. Secondly, it is quite ridiculous that the BJP, which is talking about democracy and Article 356, and this is, they're showing their true face here. This is a government which does not even have the guts to face a no confidence motion in parliament. We do not even know whether the government that Modi actually leads is a legitimate government or not. It actually runs away from facing a no confidence motion. It is this party has brought in Hindu Muslim in West Bengal. This party and its MPs with this company you have at this point have instigated riots, thoroughly communal, and you see a back effect that most of the people getting.
Oh, what are you saying, Garga? What are you saying?
It's a very horrible situation we have.
Please mind your language, okay?
People have been shipped in from Jharkhand. People have been brought in for Jharkhand. You know, people have been brought in from Jharkhand. And they have been made into looters in these districts. Exactly the district he represents.
No, one second. Okay, I can't have both speakers speaking at the same time. Fade us down, please. One at a time. Garga Chatterjee has made a point. One at a time. Both people can't speak together. Make sense, not noise. That's our motto at India Today. Babul Supriya, the charge that's being leveled by the Trinamool is the maximum number of deaths are of Trinamool activists. Do you buy this? That of those 28 people, do a head count, it's the Trinamool activists who are being killed.
Rahul, I feel like it's a nauseating feeling to be part of, part of a debate where you have Trinamool loyalists or Trinamool supporters coming up and making bizarre, saying whatever comes out of their mouth on national television. Sorry, as part of the government, I cannot just take this. What they are saying has got no data, anything. There is no such suggestion. You know, when the media is talking about your goodness, you are with them. Otherwise, you're just bringing in some cobra sting, this sting, that sting. What is this trash? Are we discussing a serious law and order situation in the country where democracy is at stake? Everyone knows that see, this is the Panchayat elections. What happened in the corporation elections? Like about a year and a half back, what happened in West Bengal? No one could file nominations even then. In a place like Newtown, Salt Lake, people actually stood in the balcony and saw people coming in bikes. Anand Bazar Patrika, Telegraph, all the newspapers, they flashed photographs where the police and the Trinamool Congress supporters, they are marching with similar weapons. And where I am the one who have faced that brunt in Asansol, Raniganj, I was taking 9 nominees with me for filing nomination in the Baraboni SDO office. Rahul, these are real facts. So what are they talking about? And 300 Trinamool supporters came and they actually lied on the road. They lied there till 3:15 because 3 o'clock was the cutout time. They did not let me go. My car was stalled, and then they sent riot police saying that Babul Supriya has come here to spread riot, when all I was doing was driving those 9 nominees. So what are they talking about? Okay. I'm not going to take this bizarre allegations, not that. I'm also not going to respond to any of that because the facts are all there for everyone to see. And I think that is what needs to be seen. As I said, it is time the parliament, we sit down and debate whether law and order can be really left absolutely to such
Fahd Halim
decide
of the
to be
CPIM
and doesn't even acknowledge.
The parliament will sit down and decide on the no confidence motion
now
first.
Trinamool's principal defense is when the CPIM was in power. elections were even more violent. This is part of the political psyche of the state of West Bengal. Don't blame Mamata Banerjee. Political violence is not new. Your party did it in the past. The Trinamool is doing it now.
Well, the first thing I'd like to tell you that in Murshidabad 2008 Panchayat elections, most of the people who were killed, among the 18 people dead quoted by somebody who is supporting the Trinamool Congress, were from the CPIM. And at that point of time, Trinamool Congress had tied up with the Congress. So let's be very clear as to who is the fountainhead of violence here in West Bengal. One has to understand very categorically the word unprecedented that you use is absolutely apt and in place, because the first time we are seeing 34% of the seats have been won uncontested. So the quality and the magnitude of violence that has ensured that 34% of the seats went to polls uncontested is not part of the figures that are coming at this point of time. So, 34% of the seats, the violence has already taken place at a different level, at a different period of time, and that violence has to be included in the figures that are coming out today. The second point is that the violence in the Panchayat elections was spread over 3 phases. Show that graphic
once again, please. I want to show, because we've culled out the number of seats that went uncontested in the recent Panchayat elections. Let's just take it one at a time. I'll start with Gram Panchayat. 16,000 seats uncontested. 16,000 seats uncontested in the Gram Panchayat elections out of 48,000. Let's now look at the Panchayat Samiti. Here the number of seats uncontested are 881 out of a total of about 5,000 seats. Right, out of a total of 9,200 seats, uncontested are 3,092 in the Panchayat Samiti elections. After this, let's now come to the Zilla Parishad elections. In the Zilla Parishad elections, out of the 580 that the Trinamool won, 203 were uncontested. Now, what does Garga Chatterjee uncontested election indicate? It indicates that the level of fear, the level of violence on the ground is so high that nobody even wants to stand against the official Trinamool candidate. That is totally unacceptable in a democracy. And look at the kind of charges you level against Babul's party.
In 2014, if you look at the Jila Parishad elections, in 2014, not too long ago, Trinamool had won more than 75% of the seats. In 2016, even more recently, this 1.5 years ago, what Babul Shipru is quoting, in the same constituency, okay, Trinamool won hands down with central forces doing the sentry. Okay, hands down in the same constituency in 2016. This is not too long ago. So basically what you have is a crumbling of the organization of the CPM. Okay, and because the BJP does not have a ground game, it brings in people from outside, goons from outside, Jharkhand most commonly. Okay, so you basically have very least penetration of these people in women, SC and ST seats which are reserved. There are also seats where Trinamool could not contest. Let us actually understand things in perspective.
Babul Supriya respond that the seats went uncontested not because there were Didi's goons running havoc, but because you don't have strength on the ground and organization in every panchayat to be able to fight those seats. Babul Supriya.
Rahul, as I said, I'm not going to respond unless it is an official spokesperson of TSG. I just want to bring in a few figures. These are figures released by the Election Commission and also it appeared in all the creditable media in Bengal. And let me tell you, they are not BJP media which is siding BJP. That's not the truth. From 1977 to 2017, the total number of uncontested seats in Panchayat elections were about 23,000. In 2018 alone, the 34% uncontested seats amounts to around 21 to 22,000. So the 40 years of history has been wiped out by only 1 year, and that is 2018. And the most dangerous thing, Rahul, as I see it as a parliamentarian, is not alone the violence that is happening in the remote rural areas where people don't even have lights. The problem is that the violence of the Trinamool cadre is complemented by the inaction or overaction of the police, where they're just picking up people and throwing them inside with grave charges. I am facing them. I know how many lawyers I have, how many guys are there inside in Asansol, and how many cases we are fighting. You are going to be shocked to see even the list of the names. If you see the names, you are going to see appeasement in there as well. Rahul, it's a very dangerous situation, and I am not here. I am not even talking about. How many people died. Those are data that is there for everyone to see. But
Father Leem,
we have to understand
the Trinamool alleges that those seats went uncontested because the CPIM has collapsed on the ground. You have no candidates to put up in the panchayat elections.
There is no acknowledgement. Not Suvendu Adhikari going there and announcing.
Okay, Babu, you made that point.
Where there is no opposition.
Okay, no. Two people can't speak at the same time. One at a time. Babul Supriya has made a point. The TMC alleges, Father Leem, that you couldn't put up candidates, which is why seats went uncontested, that the CPIM infrastructure on the ground has collapsed. You couldn't find candidates, which is why those seats went uncontested. Father Leem.
Well, the violence has taken place at three phases. The first phase was the pre-poll violence even before the nomination process was declared, and a huge number of seats have gone to polls uncontested. The second phase of violence took place on the date the nomination papers were supposed to be picked up and submitted, and that has been taken into cognizance by the High Court itself. One has to keep in mind that the High Court intervened on the complaints that we had placed before it, and we alleged that the Election Commission is not providing adequate security for candidates to actually file their nomination. And the High Court has intervened on that question, and it has given an opinion that the situation is not normal here in West Bengal during the nomination process. We've seen a number of officers, the police personnel have actually rubbed shoulders with Trinamool goons in the BDO, at the DM and the HDO's office where the nomination process was supposed to take place. The third phase of violence took place on election day itself. And surprisingly, what we found, which is unprecedented, that on counting date, we've seen people of the Trinamool Congress actually stamp ballots. The ballots which are supposed to be secure with the Election Commission, in the presence of the Election Commission and the administration, the ballots were being stamped by the Trinamool goons in the counting centers. So, this is absolutely a breakdown of democracy. It's unprecedented. Our comrade Debu Das and his wife Usha Das were burnt alive in their house. Our comrade Taimur Gain was shot dead in Amdanga. Our comrades have received the largest amount of the violence directed in this panchayat election. So this is
all political parties have spoken. Whether this is unprecedented or not makes no difference. It may have happened under the left rule, but the fact that this is happening now is disturbing. This is not the Paribartan that Mamata Banerjee promised. And most importantly, you can't have a situation where leaders are not being able to stay in their homes because goons from the ruling party are threatening to kill them, maim them unless they join the ruling party. Imagine if this had happened in a BJP state. India's entire opposition would have been crying blue murder. For this to happen in a state where you've got a chief minister alleging the prime minister is being dictatorial is totally unacceptable. Babul Supriya, Garga Chatterjee, Father Leem for joining us on the Newsroom Showdown tonight. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.